Well, as we all know, President Trump issued an executive order 14160, which was referenced earlier today, in ending birthright citizenship for children born to illegal immigrants or those on temporary visas. It was on February 5th that U.S. District Judge Deborah Boardman of the District of Maryland issued a nationwide preliminary injunction against this executive order, arguing that it ran afoul of the 14th Amendment. Speaker Gingrich, do you think it is in line with the president's duties to re-examine birthright citizenship as he did with Executive Order 14160?
Well, I mean, it's certainly a legitimate function of the presidency to look at how things change and how they evolve. I suspect in the short run this will be resolved at the Supreme Court level, and I personally believe that it's pretty hard to go back and look at the debate at the time of the 14th Amendment was adopted.
Today, I'm tackling a hot-button issue, birthright citizenship for children of illegal immigrants. It's a debate that's been heating up, so let's break it down. First off, what is birthright citizenship? Under the 14th Amendment, if you're born in the U.S., you're a citizen, no matter your parents' legal status. This was originally meant to grant citizenship to formerly enslaved people after the Civil War, but why is it controversial now? Many argue that the 14th Amendment wasn't intended to cover children born to illegal immigrants or those on temporary visas. Over time,
somehow leap from that to a birthright situation. And in fact, they're fairly clear, for example, that people who are born to diplomats in the United States do not count as citizens. And there are other factors there, but I think the next phase of that argument is going to be at the Supreme Court level. And then I think, depending on what happens, we live in a very different era. The scale of illegal immigration, which frankly has changed. My guess is some of these debates will change pretty dramatically because President Trump is being so stunningly effective at controlling the border and pretty effective at going after illegals who are also criminal. But I do think in the long run, having somebody who deliberately comes in the U.S. just long enough to have a child, and then having had the child, maybe on a tourist visa, if you will, claiming now they have an American citizen in their family. My guess is, to the degree that that continues to evolve with modern transportation, that we'll probably revisit this issue. But first, we ought to see exactly what the Supreme Court says.
Visas.
All right.
Over time, the policy has been stretched in ways some believe weren't anticipated. Recently, President Trump challenged this interpretation with an executive order aimed at ending birthright citizenship for children of illegal immigrants. It was quickly blocked by a federal judge in Maryland, who said it violated the 14th Amendment. This could reach the Supreme Court, potentially changing how we interpret the Constitution. So, let's look at both sides. Proponents of ending birthright citizenship say it encourages illegal immigration and exploits the system. They argue some people come to the U.S. just to give birth here. Critics say changing this would undermine a fundamental American principle of equality. The 14th Amendment was designed to ensure everyone born in the U.S. has equal rights, regardless of...
All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
If you'd yield to me.
I'll yield to you.
I'll follow up on that briefly. So, a diplomat's child is not a citizen, correct?
Specifically correct.
So a diplomat is here on a visa and is lawfully in this country, including the spouse, typically. Would an invading armies that comes with its spouses, well, here occupying, let's say, Texas, would their children be covered under the 14th Amendment?
My reading of the debates about the amendment would suggest that you had to be here legally in order to be qualified to have a child who would become an American. See, you couldn't be here illegally. You couldn't be here in a situation where you would not be within American law. And I think in that sense, an invading army by definition is not here as part of the American law.
So it's a legitimate debate on the 14th Amendment and where you'd be in and out.
I think it was a habit which grew up sort of absent-mindedly when there frankly weren't very many cases. And as it got to be a bigger and bigger issue, people began to say, wait a second, do we really think that in the 1860s this is something they had in mind? And I think it's pretty hard to read the debate and conclude that they wanted birthright citizenship for non-citizens.
Yeah. So now we go to the gentleman from Missouri next.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you haven't gone yet?
No, I have not.
You sit so close.
Equal rights, regardless of their parents' status. What could the real-world impact be? ending birthright citizenship could disrupt families who have lived in the U.S. for years. These children, though born to undocumented parents, know no other home. Economically, this could lead to a larger undocumented population, making the immigration system even more challenging. So where do we go from here? The debate on birthright citizenship is far from over. It's likely to continue, especially as it heads to higher courts. If you want to stay updated, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let me know in the comments. Do you think birthright citizenship should be changed? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.